On the 5th of November, I am going to be hosting my very own pop-up shop. Now, last year, I had a pop-up shop which featured just my brand, Shiva, but this year it's going to be featuring loads of other brands that I've teamed up with from all across the UK, from France and from Ireland, and I'm super excited. So guys, in my description, I'm going to have a link for the guest list. It's completely free to attend, and I'd love to see a lot of you guys there supporting some of the emerging brands that I have involved on the day. So naturally, in this video, I wanted to talk about pop-ups, the do's and don'ts when it comes to hosting your first pop-up, participating in your first pop-up, and also some of the things that I feel like you should know before hosting your pop-up or participating in a pop-up. For those of you that don't know, my name is Taddy G, and on this channel, I like to share my journey into building my very own clothing brand, as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems, and all of that good stuff. So guys, let's get into this video. So the first thing to consider when hosting your very own pop-up or participating in a pop-up is location. You need to ensure that wherever your pop-up is gonna be in a good location, and make sure you're doing your research into that location. Check out some statistics online and see what kind of footfall that location has. Check out what shops are in the surrounding area, and also go there. Footfall is very important when it comes to hosting your first pop-up and making sure you get your brand awareness out there. Now, another thing that you really need to think about is actually how you're going to get those customers into the shop. So you're getting loads and loads of people walking past your shop. You need to have some sort of incentive to actually get them to enter the shop. Maybe you'll have like somebody outside just genuinely like inviting them in. Maybe you have a bar in there. You're like, oh, free drinks with a purchase, or whatever it may be. Try and offer some sort of incentive to try and get those footfall potential customers inside of that pop-up. Don't just watch them walk past. So I know my first 2 points have been focusing on footfall, but you cannot just rely on footfall alone. Even if you're in a prime location like Oxford Street, Regent Street, you need to promote. Invite people to actually come down to your pop-up. Invite the people that follow your business page. Invite the people that follow your personal page. Friends, family. People are more likely to come in if they feel like there's actually like something cool going on. So you need to create sort of like a crowd, a buzz, so that you can actually then attract that footfall traffic. And also it gives your customers that are typically used to seeing your brand online the opportunity to actually see your brand in person, touch, feel everything. So make sure you're promoting it on every single channel possible in order to attract people to actually leave their house and come to your pop-up. Invite everyone and their kitchen sink. Even invite people that you don't really talk to like that. It doesn't matter. Business is business. You need to put yourself out there and have uncomfortable conversations and get people at your pop-up. So when you arrive to a pop-up location where you're going to be hosting your pop-up, make sure you allow yourself enough time to set up and make sure your stand looks amazing, because that is what's going to attract people to your stand and get people purchasing from your stand. And guys, make sure you bring a steamer. A steamer is going to be your best friend, because once you hang up your things and you see them creases, you don't really want to take it off and start ironing it. Plug in your steamer, steam it out, and yeah, there's no room to hide. Your clothes need to look pristine. So my next point is something that I feel like some brands might forget, and that is ensuring that your checkout experience is memorable. There was a time when I participated in a pop-up. It was a pop-up event, so there was like loads of other brands, and I witnessed something quite disturbing. Next to me was a brand. I shouldn't judge, but I don't want you guys to do this because it's not on at all. But they didn't have proper like bags to put the garments that people were spending their hard-earned cash on. And I was witnessing people like pulling out their own bags from their pockets to put the stuff in, stuffing it into their rucksack, or even the brand themselves. I think they had like a few of those, you know, the blue blue plastic bags that you would get from the local news agency. They had those sorts of bags, and I'm sorry, that's just not on. Like, put a little bit of effort into the way you're presenting your garments to your customer and make sure your checkout experience is nice. Whether that's going to be some nice rope handle bags or some boxes with some nice rope handle bags. Like, I'm a sucker for a nice rope handle bag. I will pop a picture just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm also a sucker for a nice box. Obviously, I'm participating in the pop-up that we're hosting with all these other brands, and I've already started thinking about what kind of bags I want to have, and I'm definitely going to be wasting money and spending more money on these bags that I'm going to have, even though I've got retail bags already. But I just want something different because I'm launching like a new collection. I want my retail bags to match the new collection that I'm launching, and it will kind of be like, I don't know, you know, like around Christmas season, there's always something different that brands do. That's what I'm going to do for my pop-up. But what I'm saying to you guys is make sure you're thinking about your checkout experience. You want the customer to remember how that was like and be proud to purchase from your brand and hold this nice bag with your product in. Having a card reader is essential. You do not want to miss out on sales because you're only accepting cash. The amount of times I've walked away from a purchase because they don't accept card. You don't want to lose out on them customers. Getting a card reader doesn't really cost too much. If you use Shopify, you can get a Shopify card reader. That's what I use. I used to use a PayPal card reader, so you can get that as well. There's Zettle. I feel like Zettle and PayPal are now working together with like the whole card machine thing, because I just recently ordered one for my mum. Make sure you have a card reader. In my description, I will try and like link places that you can purchase a card reader for your business. So you've got customers into the store and they're looking at your garments. You need to offer an incentive for them to actually make that purchase then and there. There's a lot of customers that will come in and be like, oh my gosh, this is nice. I'm gonna go home and make the purchase online. Maybe in that moment, they have absolutely every intention of making that purchase online. But then when they get home, they've had time to think. They're like, actually, this month I was meant to be saving money. Maybe I shouldn't. You need to make sure that in the store, they're purchasing that item then and there. So you need to offer some sort of incentive. And also, if a customer enters your store, don't just look at them. Give them a bit of time to have a look at the stuff and then approach. Talk to them about your brand. Talk to them about you. People like to feel like it's a personal shopping experience and there's some interpersonal business going on. So try and speak to the potential customers that are coming into your store, especially if you're the brand owner. People love to talk to the brand owner, talk to them about the story and stuff. That can also encourage a potential purchase. A major key, which is going to help you after the pop-up, is thinking about a way to gather emails and build up that customer list. If they come in and they're not really looking to purchase anything, at the very least, get their email address so that you can market to them later. I mentioned this before. Don't be afraid to approach potential customers. However, don't approach them too quickly and don't approach them too late. There's like a balance. I don't even know what the balance is, but there's a balance. Like, you don't want to bombard them, but then you don't want to ignore them. Pop-up shops tend to be a super long day. You might not even get a rest. You might not even get a break. So make sure you have a good team behind you to support you throughout the day so that you do get that opportunity to have a rest, to have a break, to take a breather, because it's more than likely gonna be a long day. And I really, really hope the people that have participated in the Hang Your Pop-Up and it's their first time doing a pop-up, I hope they're watching this video so that you can get a couple like tips, tricks and gems for when you actually come and participate in the Hang Your Pop-Up on the 5th of November. Guys, please sign up to the guest list and come. It's free. I'll be there as well. You get to meet me. You get to meet like-minded people that own clothing brands, networking. You just never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to talk to. And also you get to shop the amazing brands that I have on board for the Hang Your Pop-Up. Another thing that I even need to advise myself is do not spend too much money on it. I did say make sure that your stand looks good, but try not to spend too much money on it, guys. Honestly, I have been a victim. I have fallen victim to spending so much money on how I want my pop-up to look, and it adds up. So try not to spend too much money. If you do want to purchase decor, have a look at Facebook Marketplace. Consider buying things secondhand, go into charity shops, because at least then you're saving a little bit of money here and there. And make sure you're purchasing things that you're then going to be able to reuse for future pop-ups. The next thing I'm going to mention might be a little bit scary, but make sure you have some sort of sales target in mind. Yeah, I'm not talking like before you get there. Maybe it might be a bit tricky to work out a sales target before you actually begin the pop-up, but I feel like within the first like couple of hours of being there at the pop-up, you'll begin to gauge like what's achievable. Or maybe you've already done a pop-up before. Like for example, I done a pop-up last year. Based on the sales from that pop-up, I now have a new sales target. That day, my sales target kept on shifting. I didn't have one at first, but then when the sales started coming through, I started to like be like, okay, I want to reach 1,000. Okay, I want to reach 1,500. Wait, I want to reach 2,000. Okay, can I reach 3,000? Okay, should we push for 4,000 then? That sort of thing. My sales target kept on changing. But now that I've gauged like an idea of how much I could truly make out of pop-up, I now have a sales target in mind. So try and have a sales target so that you have something to work towards, something to motivate you. If you're a bit weary of approaching customers, but you're like a couple of pounds off your sales target, maybe that will give you the confidence and the incentive to approach that last customer and just get that last sale in for you to meet your sales target. Make sure you have enough stock, but I don't mean purchase additional stock. Obviously, if you don't have stock, then make sure you purchase enough stock. But on the day, don't leave stock that you already have like at home. More is more, basically. The last thing you want is to like sell out knowing that you actually have that stock at home and you just left it for no reason. And lastly, and most importantly, don't stress. Pop-ups can feel stressful, especially if it's your first one. Try not to stress. And also don't stress if you don't meet your sales target, if you don't make those first initial sales in the first couple of hours. In the first couple of hours, it is going to be quite quiet because, you know, people are not out yet. People tend to come to these things late. So don't get disheartened. And if all hell fails, I don't want to put that negativity in this video, but you know, we have to be real because these things can happen. If you don't do as well at this particular pop-up, just write it off as a marketing cost. Put it in your marketing budget, put it down as brand awareness, and maybe those customers that thought about purchasing, you've got their email address down, you can then remarket to them later and have them as future customers. Yeah, guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and it's been nice, clear, concise, and you've learned a thing or two. Like I mentioned a couple of times in this video, 5th of November, I am hosting the Hangout pop-up. It's going to be amazing. You get to meet like-minded people, purchase from incredible brands, and have a good time. It's an event. There'll be music, food, drink. I'm a piano, which is my favorite genre of music, as well as other genres of music, of course. It's going to be a vibe. It's a 30-second walk from Piccadilly Circus Station, Underground Station. So it's not far at all. It's next to that big boots underneath the lights. That's where the pop-up is going to be. So 5th of November, come down, support me, support the brands, and yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, put your notification bell thing on, like this video, and drop a comment. What should we discuss? What are your concerns when it comes to hosting or participating in a pop-up? Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in my very next video. Bye.